Hello, everyone. Andrea here, and I'm so delighted to have my amazing client, Karen Clark, the International Brilliant Business Coach, here today. So, Karen, what's your business that you do? What type of people do you work with?
Hi, Andrea. Lovely to be with you after doing your wonderful program and being here today. I work with my clients basically. Um, I do have a preference to help people with their business. However, I'm a coach. I'm a life coach. I am a master practitioner in hypnotherapy, timeline therapy, NLP, and so I work with people with the unconscious mind, with their
Mm,
thoughts and feelings and emotions. And so I work with them in whatever area they want to move forward.
mm,
They want to get more in.
mm.
They would like to grow and have some big goals achieved. So that's where I work with my clients. And as I say, I have a preference to work with people who want to grow their businesses. However, we usually end up moving many parts of their life forward when we do it.
Definitely, definitely. That's what happens because we're holistic. Business
Yeah,
is holistic.
yeah.
Awesome. So, the beautiful Karen decided to come and join the Pellowah Practitioner certification program, and it included practitioner professional development. It was a 3 day program over 25 hours, and that was she got a certificate for that and a certificate like that.
Yes.
And then we also did some case studies, Pellowah case studies, in person healings and distantly. And we had some feedback, and we did an intuitive mentorship, a marketing kind of intuitive mentorship just yesterday. So she's done over about a month, but normally the minimum is 3 days, but she's actually done a month of Pellowah immersion. So, what called you to join the Pellowah practitioner training?
Well, first of all, you, Andrea, because I've known you for quite a long time now through the networking events that we go to together and
Yes,
our wonderful friend Edward Sear.
yes.
And so we've gotten to know each other, and you know how it's all about doing business with people you know, like, and trust.
Mm,
So over the years, we've talked together and I found out more about what you do. And then recently, last year, when you suggested to me that I might be interested to do this, I actually listened and went, oh, maybe I am. And of course, the other reason is, and I was, and I did. I was interested and I did. And of course, the other reason is because I'm always looking to ways that I can better serve my clients.
mm,
So, initially I trained as a life coach. And
mm,
as I say, that life coach training can be applied to any of the four areas that we create results in our lives because we
mm,
create our results. Like you were
mm.
saying the other day, or someone was saying, life doesn't happen to us, it happens through us,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And so we actually create our results, even though most of us don't understand that philosophy.
Mm,
So I look at ways that I can help. So I started as a life coach, as I said, and there are four areas that we create our results in: our health and wellness,
mm.
our relationships and loved ones. So it's any
Yes,
relationship. You and I
yes,
have a relationship, right?
yes, yes,
Business relationships, family relationships,
yes.
friends, etc. Our business, our income, our business, our career, or our vocation is the third one. And the
Mm,
last one is our time and money freedom. And we create results in all of those areas. And I'm trained to deal with any of those areas. So I could be a health coach. I could be a sales coach.
yes,
I could be anything because our training is so all encompassing.
yes, yes.
However,
Oh,
because I've been in business myself, and I grew up in a family business. Business is my passion, and
yes.
so that's where I have the preference to work with people who want to work with their business because not only do I know the stuff, but I've actually walked the talk. Okay.
Yes,
So
yes.
I know a lot about what it's like to be in business, what it's like to be investors, what it's like to do property. I've done many, many things over my many decades. We won't say how many that I've been working like this.
Yes.
So does that answer your question?
So you were called to do it so you could help your clients more
Yeah,
with the energy
yeah,
type work, the support
yeah.
and energy type work.
Yeah, so
Yes,
so I have a choice because what I do when I get a new client is I look at what results they want, what they
yes,
want to change,
yes,
and what I think with my professional knowledge and training will work best for them. And I
yes,
pull from my toolbox of
yes,
modalities what to give them at different times
yes,
or how to work with them at different times. And I thought Pellowah would be another amazing modality and technique to pull from my toolbox at certain times throughout my clients' coaching time with me.
Well, your clients are very blessed to have such a capable, multi-skilled coach to work with them.
Thank
Very
you.
blessed.
Thank
That's all I
you.
can say. So, what challenges were you having with your own intuition, health, or abundance, business abundance yourself personally when before you came? So, this is over a month ago,
Before I
and
did my training.
yeah, so we did the training on the
Yeah.
28th of February.
Okay. So the previous year I had a real serious health challenge. I
Yes,
had been because I go backwards and forwards to New Zealand because most of you who are watching this can hear that I'm a Kiwi, or if you
yes. So
know me,
am
you
I.
know I'm a
Two
Kiwi. We're
Kiwis
Kiwis,
together.
yeah.
Here we
And
are.
when I came back the last time in September, I got really well with a bad flu. And then
Mm.
what happened was the infection got into my inner ear, and I had a virus in my inner ear which attacked the nerves in the inner ear. And
Mm.
what it does is it inflames them and attacks them, and it completely destroyed my vestibular system, which is the balance system, the part that
Oh,
in the ear that balances us and tells us that when we do something that's off balance, it knows how to tell us to balance,
yes,
rebalance, and that's our inner ear. And most people who know a little bit about that know that it's in our inner
yes.
ear, our balance system, our vestibular system, it's called. And I woke up one morning, and the whole room was just spinning, like it's going
Mm.
round and round and round really fast. So I looked up in the room and it was just moving around. And I got up,
Wow.
and I couldn't really walk.
Mm.
And so that was, and I was sick, felt nauseated, and
Mm.
it was quite. So when I finally found out what it was, that's what they said it was, and I had to teach the brain, rewire the brain
Mm.
to tell my vestibular system again how to work. And it
Mm.
took 2 to 3 months before I got better 100%.
Yes, yes, yes.
So the 100% came around the time that we did the training. I've only just got to 100% improvement.
You mean now or
Yeah,
before the training?
no, after the training.
So
So
where were you at? Like this is we did the training on the 28th of February.
so I was
So
around 95% then.
so you're about 95%, you'd cleared it, about 95% in
Yeah,
3 months. Well done. That's
yeah.
amazing. Is everybody hearing that? And
And then
then you
now
did the
I'm
3-day training and then you did the case study. So about a month later,
yeah, I'm
you
100%
you're
better.
100%.
Mm.
Yes. Well
And
done.
yes, and I had to go to a special vestibular physio to
Yes.
support me through all this.
Yes.
Physios who are trained in this particular
Yes.
part of our bodies,
Yes.
and which is our inner ear and vestibular system. And I went back to him in early February, I think it was, and he said, and I said, I'm about 95% better. And he said, even though he told me at the beginning, you can get 100% better from this, right? You will get better, or you can get better. People do get better and get 100% better. He said, oh, that might be all you get, 95%. And I was like, what? And he said, well, that's pretty good. And just to let you know that some people, that's all they get. They only get
Wow.
95% better, and they retain that last 5% of losing their balance sometimes, being a little bit unstable, getting a little bit of
Mm.
vertigo, and all of that.
And it can make you feel really vulnerable, you know, especially if you're driving. Obviously, it's unsafe when you're driving,
Mm,
walking, you know, and if you're in
mm,
high heels as well, especially as a woman, you know, and, you know, if you're menstruating, you're a bit younger, that's, you know, there's so many challenges with that. Like, I mean, so not 100% is
that's
awesome. Let's get you back
fantastic.
to normal.
Yeah.
And what about your intuition? What was that like about a month ago?
It's interesting you should ask that because I was thinking about it afterwards and I realized that when I was in those 3 months and particularly in the early days, um, I lots of things weren't working.
Mm,
Lots of things weren't working for me. I had this difficulty being able to to process things, you
mm,
know. I felt this difficulty to learn things or process things or
mm,
even make decisions. I felt
mm.
this overwhelm came all often. I got this feeling of overwhelm, and I just don't want to I just don't want to take on too much because I can't handle it.
Yes, yes.
And now it's only now that I'm getting 100% back to normal because, you know, in the past um, I've always pushed myself, you know,
Mm,
to be an achiever and to do a lot of, to make the most of what I can achieve and do, or make the most of myself. And it's only really recently that I've started to feel like I'm on top of it again and I can do that. And so then with my intuition, it's telling me now what to do. You know, like I'm able to say, yes, make a good decision about it and know that
mm,
it's something my intuition is telling me that's good or not good, rather than that voice in my head that
mm.
is just that constant chatter that says to you, and it's not your intuition, you know, that says to you, oh, you better not do that. You might make a fool of yourself.
Yeah,
You might,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, you might not succeed, or people are
yeah.
stupid, you know, that voice,
Yes.
because it's very different. And actually, I teach one of these courses I teach is called Into Your Genius, and it's about our six
Wow.
mental faculties that we all are given at birth, and one of them is our intuition.
Mm,
That we're all given as gifts. We're gifted them at birth, and yet most of us don't learn about them. And our
mm.
intuition is one of those six
So
mental
did you
faculties.
think that how would you know, would you say that your intuition improved after doing the
Yes,
Pellowah training?
yes,
Yes,
definitely.
yes. And your confidence in your intuition, I think really what you were saying.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
yes.
Confidence is in key one.
Confidence in knowing that it's my intuition
Yes,
telling me something rather, or
yes,
not, yeah, telling me whatever it's telling me rather than that voice in my head.
yes,
That's not
yes.
real, not real information.
And also, you know, we were also going through quite a lot, you know, in the world, like in Brisbane, we had the cyclones, and there was a
Yeah.
lot of stress on people's nervous system. And then a few years ago, we had the COVID for a couple of years through the world. So our nervous system is a bit more fragile than they've been before and can easily get overwhelmed. And for women, especially, we've got to build up our estrogen because that helps us um, function more effectively without being overwhelmed instead of using the testosterone energy, which is more the masculine way of
Mm,
working in
mm,
business.
mm.
So did you feel like you started to open up a little bit after the Pellowah training to your feminine flow kind of intuitive magnetic way of working?
Yes,
Yes,
definitely.
good.
Yes, definitely.
Yes, yes,
Because that's where I always want to be
yes.
anyway. I always want to be um, getting my information through my feminine flow and
Mm,
then using my feminine virtues
mm,
to help other people and serve my clients. Because
mm,
I really think that as women, we have this special gift. We have our feminine virtues, and we work differently, you know, to
mm,
men. That's one of the ways we're very different.
mm,
And we're more nurturing and we're more loving and we're more caring in
mm,
general. You know,
mm,
you can get some men who are like that. And I'm not saying men are not like that. However, in general, women work more with our love and our care and our nurturing
mm.
with other people. And that's where I always want to be. I always want to be using those women's virtues to serve my clients. And
Yes.
even knowing that I'm here to serve, you know,
Mm,
that's what my dad taught me. years and years
Mm.
ago when I was a little girl in business. He taught me about the importance of serving your clients.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you're an amazing, amazing woman. And I know your clients would get a lot of care working with you, a lot of care. Yeah, that's my intuition anyway.
Thank you.
Telling. So was there been any changes in the challenges that you might have had with business abundance or money mindset that has shifted in the last month for you at all?
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay, good. Yes.
Yes, so I was going through, like I said before, we did the training, and after that health event, I was going through a struggle because I was so unwell that I
Mm,
didn't do a lot of
mm,
work at all.
mm, mm.
I retained a minimum amount um, and just focused on resting.
Yes.
And then once you get out of that sort of momentum, then I started to think, do I want to do this?
We've all been there.
Who are my clients?
Yeah.
How am I going to get clients again?
Mm.
Um, all sorts of things were coming up, that chatterbox. And actually, the pre-session that you gave me, pre-training session gave me clarity on focus and clarity and focus on, yes, I'm here to serve my people and they need me. Like,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
like I've got all this amazing training and
You
it is.
have.
I'm so blessed to have so much wonderful, wonderful training. My life coaching with the Life Mastery Institute. It's an American institute, the premier training company for transformational coaches.
Wow.
So, and then I went on to do my master's, like I say, my master practitioner training. So I've got all this amazing training to pull from to help my people. And I'm
Yes.
like, why did I even doubt it?
Yeah.
This is why I'm here. I'm here
Yeah.
to help my clients get freedom because that's
Yes.
my big
Yes.
why. Freedom from the doubt, the fear, freedom, financial freedom,
Yes.
freedom from, lack of confidence or lack of self-esteem, to get freedom from all of the things as humans we get boxed in by.
Yes. Oh, definitely.
That's why I'm here. That's my big
I've had challenges with freedom myself with my own body and the war
yes,
between my mind and my body,
yes.
um, and in a skin condition. So I totally get that, and
Yeah.
and I totally resonate. Anybody listening that's been in business understands it's like a rites of passage. It's a whole journey, personal growth journey. And I've done 7 part-time businesses looking for an easier way myself. So
Yes,
just like you, we've been in the trenches actually doing it, not just
yes.
theorizing about it and reading about it. You know what I mean? So that's good. So you got the confidence afterwards, and because what we did a
Clarity.
90-minute intuitive human
Mm-hmm.
design reading, brief look at medical history and where Karen's strengths were, her magnetism, her purpose, her energy, and we gave her a Pellowah healing as well. So you can give a distant healing like that over there on the table. So we did it on Zoom. So
Mm-hmm.
Karen had a taster, and that got her back towards um, realigning to her business and where she wanted to take it next, and reminding her of how gifted she really was, which is awesome. So, what was the main benefits do you think you received from the 3-day training and then the month follow up kind of thing with the case studies, with your intuition, for example? Main benefits was the change in how you felt the confidence. Yeah, yeah.
Well, of course, the first one is that I'm a certified Pellowah healer. And
Yes.
it's one of, as you said to us, it could be considered the most powerful energetic healing modality ever discovered.
Well, I really believe that personally. I studied 5 healing
Mm-hmm.
modalities, and
Mm-hmm.
uh, for me, from my experience over 20 years with clients, it has given the best results and my own personal health. So
hmm
that's the reason I'm so excited about it.
Yeah.
I cleared a genetic pattern with it, helped clear a genetic pattern with it from 3 generations. So, um, I'm really pretty excited about it. And so, any other benefits that for your health? How was your vertigo is 100%, better,
Yes.
and the focus on your business was much more kind of on track and purposeful.
hmm
Is that what you say? Yeah.
Yes.
And what do you feel about the benefits of you being able to, you did a few case studies of the Pellowah training, uh, and we did a bit of a mentorship and discussion. What sort of benefits did you find that gave those case studies, those clients, the Pellowah that you gave them?
So,
And this was
um,
Pellowah only. It wasn't business coaching. It was straight
correct,
Pellowah, right?
correct,
Yeah.
correct. So the first one I did was just unbelievable. The benefit the client got was so marked that you wouldn't have believed that it could be possible. The
Yes.
change, yeah, the change in this woman who'd suffered some serious trauma
Mm,
was absolutely magnificent. And
mm,
afterwards, she said, I'm back. I'm back. I've got me back. I'm back. And her eyes glowed again, and they'd been just grey and dull.
mm.
Um, and it was just incredible. That was
Yes.
a face to face, an in-person Pellowah
Yes,
healing.
yes, yes, yes,
So one of the benefits I got was a belief in it that it works.
yes.
Okay, because it's energy healing, and some people might be like, "Oh, that's all woo woo la la," and doesn't really work, or does it work, or there's all sorts of things people say about these things. So one of the big benefits was actually a belief that it works. And the
Yes,
second
yes,
one I did was a distant one, which also it's a big thing to actually believe that you can do a healing distantly on someone and they can receive it and have an effect
yes,
on it, get a positive effect. So yeah, the second one was really, really good as well. Her response on how she felt afterwards was pretty incredible. Yeah, pretty incredible. Hers was a physical injury, and yeah, she's done a number of other things as well. So whether or not you can say that particular thing has worked or not is
yes,
the
yes.
question. However,
Supporting it,
we
supporting it.
know that we believe that this is the most powerful energy healing on the planet.
Well, yes, feels like it.
Yeah.
uh, yes, and that's wonderful. And so this is the power of, and what I want to say is all Karen had done, she'd only done the 3 days training. And then she was doing these case studies, just Palo only, none of her other modalities. So
Mm.
this is the effect. Now imagine if Karen decided to do the business coaching or the quantum, the hypnotherapy or the quantum work you do with the Palawa.
Mm.
How do you think that would affect your client results?
Oh, it would all add up. What's the word where you add and add and add and add consecutively? I mean, not the word that, it would all add up together to create the most amazing results for people. Because the thing is, what we don't realize is that we've got all these ingrained, patterned
Mm,
thoughts around how things are,
mm,
around um, how you do things, what affects us.
mm,
Life happens to us, right? That's what we
mm.
think. Oh, I can't do that because of that, or that happened to me because of that out there, or whatever. And they're all limiting thoughts and beliefs. They're so limiting, and yet we think they're truth. We think they're truth
Yes,
because we've
yes.
been brought up with this in decades and centuries. This is how life is. This is how
Mm,
life happens to us. This is
mm,
how things are. This is what you do. This
mm.
is what you do. And none of it is truth. And so when we start to learn this stuff and learn that There's truth and there's fact, and they're different.
Mm,
They're very, very different. We think facts are truth, but they're not.
mm,
And when you start to understand, and then there's beliefs, which are
mm.
different again. And beliefs are
Yes,
not our own, they're given to us.
yes. A lot of, I call it conditioning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
So
I don't want to
that's
shut people off
amazing.
by saying we're conditioned or we're programmed, because then people go, oh, I'm not programmed. So I
Yeah.
want to say it in a way to open people's mind and realize that the beliefs we've got, we're given. We didn't create them. We didn't form them ourselves. We were given them by our parents, our grandparents, by society, by the news, by by all sorts of things around the economy and how things are. And they're simply not truth. They're beliefs. And they cause us to
Yes.
take certain actions that don't always serve where we want to go. They don't always serve that vision of that life we would love,
Yes.
whether it's our
Yes.
business or whether it's in other areas. They don't serve that. In fact, they
No, they
usually do
don't.
the opposite. And so,
Mm,
with any of this work that we do, including the Pellowah, it helps people to
mm.
reprogram their operating system, or change their operating system and then reprogram their minds.
Yes.
And it's
Yes.
super important to do that because
Yes.
our minds are like our operating system, and then our programming is like the program in the computers. And, they don't serve us to
Yes.
really be wonderful, amazing, the amazing, wonderful people who we are.
Yes. Well, the 3-day training actually activates. It's like activating the light within you, so you
Mm.
transform the inside out. You become a new you. Do you feel a bit more like a new you?
Yes, yes,
Yes. Oh, that's good.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. And the
Yes.
more and more. So
Yeah. It's
it's
cumulative.
continuing to
The
happen to me.
well-being, the well-being is cumulative with Palawa.
Mm.
It gets better over time.
Yes. So I'm feeling, like you say, more confident with my intuitive messages. I'm
Yes.
feeling more positive, more focused,
Yes.
um, and more determined to do my work.
Yes. And
Mm.
do you feel like it's easier to do your work now if you could include the Palawa for people
Yes,
as well?
yes, yes,
Yes.
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 Like I say, I'm going to use it as a tool in my toolbox.
Yes.
I'm not going to go out and like some people say, well, that this is what I do, and um, I'm a Pellowah healer, and come to me for that. I will still use it as one of the modalities that I will include in my
Yes. Yes.
coaching with my clients
Yes.
in general.
Yes.
Um,
Yes. Which is awesome.
mm,
And the person, the client that the case study you did, and this lady had trauma. Um, did because a lot of people that experience trauma are worried about a lot of old stuff coming to the surface and having to process a lot of childhood stuff. Did you notice your client did that, or did you notice it? How was she a few weeks later or a few days later after that? Because, you know, some people are worried about that have had trauma.
oh, yes, she processed all the trauma she'd had basically her whole life. She told me afterwards that it had all come in front of her eyes,
Yes,
and
yes,
each one she had processed and dealt with during the Palo session. Amazing,
yes.
and for 1 hour. And then she was just so much better afterwards, like a different person, a
Yes,
really, really different person, because she was very seriously affected by the trauma beforehand.
yes,
And it was a recent trauma, this one.
yes,
However, as she said, there were other traumas she'd experienced that had come into that it, that come in front of her eyes, although her eyes were closed, had showed up in front of her eyes during the Pellowah healing, and she dealt with them and moved
yes.
them away.
So how was she a few weeks later?
Well, it's not been a few weeks yet, recent, yeah, maybe a few weeks only. She
Yes.
messaged me again and said she was just rocking it.
Rocking it. That's
Yeah,
awesome. And
she,
she was going well in her business as
oh,
well.
totally. She's totally like hung on to that change in her whole persona, and just got, because she was in the middle of launching a new business. and
Yes.
launching a new part of her business when this happened, and then the trauma. And 3 weeks later, she's just like gone on. The next day, she had to do stuff from then on, and she's just gone on with it. And she said she's just rocking it, crashing it,
That's
um,
amazing.
crushing
Yeah.
it, you know.
Yeah. So that's one thing I love about Pellowah is that it can release the trauma inside people's subconscious trauma they don't even know about without having to do years and months of talk therapy,
Mm.
without having to do a lot of processing, and,
Yes,
both Karen and me have both studied a lot of modalities, and you can spend many months
yes.
on process, NLP, NSR. I've done all that. We've done all those things. But that person was able to release that trauma, lie on the table for 1 hour and completely let it all go.
Mm.
And then her business took off.
Mm.
So that's a really important thing for people to know, that you don't have to be a trauma specialist
Mm. Yeah.
to actually help people, because the Palawa is it's like driving an automatic car. you know you know Once you're connected to the Palo energy through the attunements in your hands in those 3 days, it's with you for the rest of your life.
Mm.
So Karen, it's not like Karen did any big diagnosis, or
No,
as a trauma specialist, she didn't have to do any of that.
no.
All she did was hold her hands up, call in the Palo energy, and then you know, serve the client's highest good. So anybody, whether you've done healing before, whether you've done trauma work before, emotional work before, health work, or any kind of work before, can do it.
Mm.
So that's why I love it. It's pretty, it's it's anybody can do it, whether you've never,
Yes.
done anything like that before. So that's awesome. So would you recommend studying the Palawa training to female soulpreneurs or other coaches or practitioners yourself?
Yes, and I want to add there that I would recommend studying it with you, Andrea.
Thank you.
I
Thank
love
you.
the way that you took us through the program, and you just gave an example then, like an automatic car. You often did that where you explained something, you explained things in ways and gave an example so that and I love the one where you said dropped the baby.
I was explaining about the nervous system.
Yes.
So when I added because Palawa is originally, I've been teaching for 20 years. Originally, it's taught level 1 and level 2. Level 1, you become a Palawa practitioner, and level 2, the second day, you connect to your true self. So the third day is when we did the Palawa swaps for the distance. So Karen could give a Palawa to someone distantly, and then she could rely on the table and receive it, so she knows in her body that it works.
Mm-hmm.
For you to be confident as a practitioner, you got to know it works by
Yes.
having experienced it,
Yes.
right? And then over the next month, they did some actual, case studies. So when I put the program together, I felt there was a need to do some more practitioner training to
Mm.
teach practitioners
Yes.
how to give a healing, how to work with clients without depleting their health, depleting their energy,
Yes.
getting involved with their problems, taking on their stress. If they got a shoulder pain, I used to end up with a shoulder pain, all that,
Yes.
and teaching them some basic grounding, qigong, well-being
Mm.
balances, and how to look after clients, in a way where you're going to bring more transformative results while still maintaining healthy professional boundaries.
Mm. And how to look after yourself.
How
Self
to look after yourself.
first.
That's number one.
So your training encompassed a whole lot more than what I believe is a normal Pellowah training. And, I love that. I love that you included all that extra um, expertise, your personal experience, your expertise, and the other things that you added in, like you say, the Qigong and all sorts of things that you taught us that are your program.
Yes. No, I'm so excited to be able to
So I would recommend it.
transform
I
it,
would
share
recommend
it.
it because even so, one of the first reasons I decided to do it, Andrea, was because you told me that by attending the training, it would be equivalent to receiving
110 1 hour Pellowahs.
110 Pellowah healings.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, that's got to be worth it on its own, right?
Yes.
And that was one of the reasons I went into it. I was like, oh, wow, I can go and get 110 Pellowah healings or the equivalent of
In 3 days.
benefit and become a Pellowah
Trainer.
certified Pellowah healer. So, it's even that alone is worth doing it for.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer because if I charged you for 110 1 hour Pellowahs and you had them once a week for 2 years, it would cost you $16,000.
Mm.
$16,000, and you just only have to pay over 1,000 for this, and you
Yes,
get a discount if you bring your friend, so you can
yes,
swap Pellowahs, and you can swap Pellowahs for free for the rest of your life.
yes.
So the good thing is Karen does not need to pay me for a Pellowah ever again. I know that's probably not good for my business, but energetically, she can come and get Pellowah attunements, which are a faster upgrade, which is like similar to, I just did one today with another client, similar to 500 Pellowahs in a 5-minute attunement.
Mm,
So it's a fast, radical shift of consciousness, and rewiring and re-energizing the nervous system, the whole conditioning
mm.
that's patterning in our body. And as Karen could probably explain it, because she's more of an expert in quantum physics or whatever, explain. But I don't know how it does it, but it just does it. I don't know how it does it, just does it.
And as you said, that's a critical thing, a radical shift in consciousness, because as I
Yes,
was saying before, we have beliefs,
yes,
we have limiting beliefs, we have
yes.
programming, we have all of those things that as humans are normal. That's what we have, that's how we have evolved, and yet they don't serve us. They don't serve us. And so if we can radically shift our consciousness to work with our intuition and the other, wonderful mental faculties that we have and communicate in that way with the world, with
Mm,
other people, with all the wiseness, all the knowledge, everything that's there for us that we have access to. We have access to it all. We're just
yes.
like a massive big mainframe computer. We have access to it all, but we've forgotten how to do that. We've forgotten how to keep the access or get the access.
Well, that's why my logo is the white circle with the colors. So that white circle is your intuitive true self, is your connection to your unlimited self.
Mm,
There's a conditioned
mm.
self, and the human self, but the unlimited self.
Limited
So
self.
that's why it's white and empty. And that makes you more magnetic to all the things that you love in your life,
Mm.
right? Have you noticed your magnetism improve at all, like in personal magnetism
I
or change?
I don't know. You'd have to ask other. Oh, you mean my magnetism?
And magnetizing things that you'd love, like that's happened to one of the other students and so many of the other students. Things like fall into place effortlessly,
Yes,
more
something
easily.
did, but I don't know if it was before or after. But yes, if that, I think so. Yes, I think
Yes.
so. I think a
So
couple
you
of
will
things have
notice over time,
fallen
especially the
into
more
place.
attunements that
Mm,
you get,
mm,
like you will notice that things
mm,
magnetize to you. So,
mm.
for example, I was really wanting to run a Pellowah training, and I'd been teaching Pellowah for 20 years. And I thought, I'd love to go and have dinner with some of the people I've been training. But it was a spontaneous dinner. I only sent a message the night before, so I didn't know if anyone could come. And unfortunately, some people were going to come, then they got sick and it was raining. So, anyway, I thought, no, I am going by myself regardless because I'm a divine feminine woman and I deserve it, right? So, I was going to this posh, fresh restaurant by myself. And I went to this business networking where I met Karen, and I've met her for dinner a few times before, and I thought I'd love to go with somebody, but I'm still going by myself, Okay, I'm not putting it out there. And I said, see Karen, I said, oh, by the way, you doing anything for dinner tonight? She said, I was actually going to ring you and see if you wanted to meet for dinner. So
Yes.
she was thinking, oh, I'd love to meet Andrea for dinner that morning. When I was there, I spontaneously asked her if she's doing anything for dinner. So we ended up like both going for dinner, celebrating the 20 years because I was also celebrating that I'd launched the Palawa training in
Training.
the with the Intuitive Institute of Complementary Therapists, which means that everybody doing the training can automatically get membership and get insurance to practice as a professional, right? So I was celebrating, and we had the most gorgeous evening out, the most
Mm.
gorgeous dinner. I had the pleasure of Karen's company, and
Yes.
just spontaneously, because it was all about Pellowah, just sharing about Pellowah. I
Yes.
wasn't trying to sell Karen in on it. I was just having fun. And she says, book me in. I'm
Yes.
coming in. Next
Yes.
thing you know, she's doing the Pellowah training.
Yes.
And this is how the feminine flow way of doing business is through connection. We're just having fun. We're doing what we love. You know, it's effortless. It wasn't like I tried to target market, Karen to market her to prospect for the Palawa. It was more just in the flow. We're having fun. We're in connection. And this is our gift as women,
Mm.
is our gift to follow that, you know. And when we're doing what we love, we're obviously much more magnetic. All of us are, because that's our
Yes.
heart energy.
Yes.
So, any final words before we complete, Karen?
Just to say that I'm really happy I did it, and thank you so much for. I also want to add that what I felt when I was doing the training with you was your dedication to our success, your dedication to our being, the best, getting the most from your program.
Mm.
We felt that. We felt your deep dedication and commitment to us. And that is great because you can go to courses or seminars or boot camps or whatever and not have that feeling from the people leading them.
Mm.
However, you encompass that within your training so that
Mm.
we felt like, we were part of your family really learning this work, and your intentions for us was to become the best
Yes, and you
um,
guys are
in
the best,
with
and I
our
love to see that in you.
yeah. So
Yeah.
all I want to say is that if I chose again, I'd choose you.
Thank
If I
you.
chose Palawa training again, I'd choose you, and I may well attend the next one because you give the opportunity to attend it at a minimal
Yes, a
amount of
discounted price if you've
time.
done it before,
Yes.
you can come. So,
I'm
yes,
not
I'd
sure
love you
yet.
to come.
We'll see how we go with timing.
Yes.
And I have nothing but good things to say. I have all good things to say about it. I would encourage anyone who's thinking about it to talk with you or me if they would like to about the training and what it will achieve for them.
Oh, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for following your intuition to come and join us. It was absolute pleasure to have you on the course. We had a lot of fun. By the way, my trainings aren't all about too serious. I really love having fun. Like if you
Yes,
don't have fun, it's like, why do it? So,
yes, yes.
and when you're having fun, it brings in more ease, right? It brings in more
Mm-hmm.
because you're relaxed, and so it brings in more ease. So, it was an absolute pleasure to work with you, Karen, and can't wait to work with you some more. And before I forget, anybody that decides they want to do the Palawa training, you can actually do and join the mentorship program, Intuitive Manifesting Mentorship, where we do some intuitive marketing. We look at your human design chart and we meet once a fortnight to discuss case studies and how you can market in your business the best as well as another VIP up leveling that we can do with extra attunements. So there's lots of ongoing support if you feel you want it in your business, or if you don't, no problem. That's how it works. So,
Thank
okay.
you so
Well, thank you
much
for your
again.
time.
Thank you for your running the program with the feminine virtues, your love and nurturing and caring that we all felt while we were in your program.
Oh, thank you. So remember